F5.
Yeah, hello. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, at F5 means that is called as means maintaining to all traffics, distributed traffic from
That is load balancer work.
yeah.
I'm talking about F5. If I ask Palo Alto,
Okay,
you can say
F5 means that is the vendor name device vendor that is like
yes,
providing the
it's a
Cisco. Yeah,
company. Yeah, it's a company. Okay,
correct. Yeah,
like Cisco and Palo Alto,
FortiGate.
FortiGate, whatever means there are many.
Yes,
So F5 is a company, and and Big IP is a kind of product. In Big IP product, there are different modules. So we are going to learn in this session LTM.
yes.
And if you want to go with GTM and WAP, so these are the LTM was the first module. After that, they introduced GTM. It's called Intelligent DNA, then ASM. So I'll cover the details. What are these modules are. First, I will explain about this session. So mostly I'll cover with. Are you guys comfortable with this timing? So I have both option, weekend and
Yeah,
weekday. So
yes,
I'll
yes.
first explain the session highlight. So this particular session is for Saturday, Sunday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Okay. We have session on weekdays as well. So if you want to join weekdays, that is also available. So what I'm going to cover first, I'll guide with complete lab setup, how you can do lab setup on Lappy. And after that, real-time troubleshooting. Since I am working on F5 as a consultant, so I know means which type of task do we get on day-to-day basis, how we do provisioning. So means from scratch to advanced level, debug level. If I'm saying scratch, so means how you can assign IP to the device, how you can change host name. From very basic to debug means how you can take TCP dump, how you can analyze in Wireshark, how let's suppose you got some issue. So how will you identify whether it's related to F5 or not? Okay.
Okay,
I'll schedule a mock interview as well. Once completed, let's suppose some interview got scheduled, and if you want to some kind of mock interview, I'll schedule that as well. After that, there would be dedicated doubt clearing session. Let's suppose you are working on F5 LTM already in your organization, and you are stuck somewhere. If you want some assistant over that, I'll cover that as well. And after there would be lifetime access of recording, and after completion you will get the certificate. Okay,
okay.
any query?
No, yeah.
Mm.
So okay,
No, as of now. No.
this class will be start every weekend, Saturday, Sunday, right?
Yes, yes,
11 to 1 o'clock, right?
yes.
Oh,
Hi
oh,
Sudhir.
Hello, sir.
Hello, you are a bit late but not much,
Uh,
just 2 3 minutes before I started.
uh,
I'll
I got a call from Kajal ma'am that there is a just
I
training is the demo is starting just now.
but you
Just
have
received
got
the message.
the anyway, I'll share you the recording.
Okay, okay.
Mhm. So what I'm only explaining what we are going to cover. So in module one, we are covering introduction of F5 product, means what are the F5, what are the product line, what is the TMOS architecture in F5, initial big IP setup, LTM component, what are the component, how we can do the initial setup, means how we can do the provisioning, how we can request for license, how we can do the license of the license to the box. I'll cover this part. Okay. Then in module two, I'll cover what is virtual server, what is pool member, what is node, profile, monitor. Okay. In module 3, we'll cover a load balancing method, NAT, SNet, what are the automap, SNet pool. Then in module 4, operations administrator, where I'll explain how you can troubleshoot from the CLI, how you can do the configuration, backup, restore from the backup, upgrade a big IP software. Then how we can configure HA, what is the HA, what is the prerequisite of HA, what are the QK view, like in Cisco, if you raise a case to F5 LTM, they ask tech support file, correct? In F5, it called quick view, and we can directly upload this. This is the tool provided by F5. It's publicly available. We can also upload and analyze our QKV file. It consists all the logs and related configuration. Okay, so I'll cover this detail in advance, and I'll cover the real scenario. Let's suppose my experience. Let's suppose I got P1. How did I troubleshoot? What was the issue? Recently we had a split brain issue. How I identify it? How I did troubleshoot? So each and everything. Then in last it comes I rule. What are the I rules? I rules is a very powerful feature in F5 LTM. If some feature is not available by default, through I rule we can achieve that. So are you guys aware about iRule? Hello, anyone aware about iRule?
No,
It,
no,
it's
no.
a kind of a
No.
scripting TCL tool command language. So we can write a script and we can modify the default behavior of some feature. Let's suppose by default we don't have option in F5. This is the client. Let's suppose this is the client. This is the F5 box. We have two server in backend, server 1 and server 2. What I want, if someone is trying to access from Chrome, it should go to the always land to the server 1. If someone is coming from Mozilla, it should always land to the server 2. Yeah, let's suppose if someone is using a MacBook, it should go to the server 1. Someone is using Windows, it should go to the server 2. Have you guys recently heard the news about if someone is trying to order something, yeah, book a cab, yeah, order something. If you are doing it from iPhone, charges were slightly high. Have you heard about this news? So what we can do, we can configure two server and we can write iRule if someone is coming from iRule. Sorry, it coming from the iPhone, iOS, it should go to the dedicated server. If someone is using Windows, yeah, some Android, it should go to the dedicated server. Yeah, you have noticed like if you are accessing some websites, if you are accessing from iOS, it appearing in different way. If you are accessing through Android, it's appearing in different way. So through iRule we can configure and control these things. By default F5 doesn't provide this feature, but through iRule we can do that. Okay, so that I'm going to cover in detail. Troubleshooting, how we can troubleshoot, how, let's suppose you got some scenario, how you will convince your application team it's not related to F5. If it is related to F5, how you can identify and how we will troubleshoot. I'll cover this thing in detail. Okay, any question, query?
No, clear.
Clear? Okay, what about you, Sudalai and Sudhir? Hello, hello, hello.
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Yeah, yeah. So clear,
Yes,
any question, doubt, Sudhir?
Yeah,
yes,
it's clear. So
yes.
we'll cover six models.
Yes.
Right. What do we? How many sessions might be required to cover six model? Like,
It's 30 hours.
okay.
So let's suppose every week I am covering 5 hours. So
Oh,
it will take approx 6 week.
6 week.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
If due to some emergency situation, if any of 1 week, if not available, how will
So I'll
the
provide the
team?
recorded session. Let's suppose
Okay.
you are not available. Sanjay and Sudhir has attended that session. So there would be recording. I'll upload to the portal. You can go through it. If any issue before starting next session, you can discuss with me. Yeah, ask me to schedule some Q&A session. Okay. And also since batch size is too low, let's suppose two of you are not available, so we can postpone that session. That is also possible. Okay. So I'm very much flexible in this thing. Basic knowledge required.
Okay.
What are the basic knowledge? Yeah, yeah. You are asking something? Hello.
Yeah, yeah. I said okay. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, okay. Basic knowledge. What are the prerequisite OSI concepts should be clear. Basic understand. If I'm saying OSI concept, so
Yeah, yeah. OSA is concept clear.
yes.
Like all
Then
7 layers, right?
yes, means if
Yeah.
I'm saying DNS, you should know like whether it's work on layer 3 or layer 7. If you are not aware, I'll explain this also. Basic Linux, since F5 built on the Linux, basic Linux is if you have, good to have. If don't, then I'll explain in the class. Then networking basic. If I'm saying networking basic means you should be clear like IP subnetting, routing, VLAN and all these concepts should be clear. Okay.
Mhm.
Who should attend this training? Network engineer. If you want to learn F5 or if you want to become a F5 specialist engineer, you can attend. Yeah, if you are preparing for the certification name is F5 CS, Certified Administrator. Earlier there were two exam, 101 and 201. Now they have
Ah,
split in five exam, Type 1, Type
କହୁନ
2, Type
କଣ
3.
କୁହ?
Sanjay, if you are not speaking,
କଣ
please
ଭାଇ?
mute yourself. Okay. So if you guys preparing for certification, I'll cover certificate path as well, so you can attend this session. Okay. And certificate called F5 Certified Big IP Administrator, F5 CA. Okay. Now we'll come to the ADC. ADC F5 is not limited to LTM load balancer. It's provide complete solution for application hosting. That is called ADC. ADC is application delivery control. Okay. Any query? Anyone?
No, no. पैसा 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 दिमाग खराब हो गया। अभी सुबह सुबह भेजा 312 बजे हमें
Sanjay,
300
please
रुपया।
mute yourself if you are not asking any question. Okay. So what is TMOS? TMOS is the traffic management operating system of F5. Okay, this is the operating system of F5. It's called TMOS. In TMOS is they are same, and these are the different module. LTM, DNS. Earlier it was called GTM. ASM, yeah, WAF, Application Security Controller, Advanced Web nowadays. Application Policy Manager. F5 does provide the VPN and SSO solution through APM. Then it's come SWG, Secure Web Gateway. Then Application Firewall Manager. These are the different module of F5. What I covered: DNS, Big IP Advanced Firewall Manager, Access Policy Manager, WAF, and SSL architecture. DDoS hybrid. For DDoS solution, F5 has different module. Advanced routing module. These are the licenses. Okay. Now we'll understand before F5 LTM how we were accessing the application and what was the issue. So earlier client directly access application servers. Okay, let's suppose we have one critical website hosted www.abc.com. Are you guys aware about DNS?
Yes, we our
What is DNS?
domain name system. So it
Yes.
will query with domain name if you accessing the website with the URL
Yeah.
and
So what?
route to IP.
Yes, means FQDN to IP mapping. And
Yeah,
it works
correct.
on which port? UDP 53 mainly.
53. Yeah, UDP and DCP 53.
TCP in case of zone transfer. Okay. Mainly it work on
Okay.
UDP 53 by
Oh,
default.
okay.
It works on TC53 as well, but for zone transport. So if you are covering GTM, I'll cover this part in detail. So how it was working before? Let's suppose we had one website hosted. This is a critical website, www.abc.com, and IP of the website, I'll name it as let's suppose 11.1.1.1.10. This is the 11. Are you aware about A record, C record, CNAME? Aware about this terminology in DNS?
Yeah, I know, but a little bit doubt. C records, A records, because previous company I worked like IPM in
Like,
Infoblogs.
okay,
So
Infoblox. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So let's suppose we have website ybc.com, that is a critical website, and there are, let's suppose, lakhs of user is accessing every time. So one server can't handle the entire traffic. So we have added 4 server, and we mapped all these A record 11.1.11. A record means 11 IP2 13 11.1.1.10. Okay. So what was happening? So we had created means like DNS was resolving these servers randomly. If someone is, let's suppose this user trying to access abc.com, and for this user, let's suppose it's resolved to 11.1.1.10, it will go to the this server. For this user, it's resolving to 11, this will go to the this one. If this user will try resolve to the 12, it will go to the this server. If this user, it will resolve to the 13, means a kind of round robin, or in a round robin. It was resolving to a random IP, and connection was going to the directly to the app server. Okay, but what was the issue here? Means this was also serving our purpose. Let's suppose we got 80% utilization on all the servers. We can add one more server. Okay, to distribute the load. And what we can do here, we can add map one more IP 1.1.1.15, and we can add one more server. Okay, server ABCE. Okay. So what was the challenge here? What was the issue? Nitin, hello. Means without load balancer also we were able to distribute the load. But what was the challenge?
I think if that server even have full utilize, that it will route the traffic the same round robin.
Yes, correct. Mean there was no monitoring at DNS level. DNS what was doing? It was simply resolving to the IP. Let's suppose this server goes down, entire user will be impacted. Let's suppose DNS I don't have visibility, this server is down because there was no monitoring. Okay, there was no health monitor. Health monitor is the one of the important topic. We'll cover in detail what is the health monitor, how does it work, what are the kind of health monitor. So I'll cover the detail. Let's suppose the server A went down. So let's suppose 25% for 25% user DNS was resolving to this IP, and you will still send the traffic here. Let's suppose one of the server is 90% utilized, and there is, since there is no monitoring, it will still send the traffic to the problematic, yeah, highly utilized server, and they will face slowness. Mean there is no centralized monitoring. Simply DNS was resolving to the IP. Okay. So earlier what we are doing, there was security concern as well. I'll explain that part. First, let's understand. So we are simply exposing our application server internet, client directly accessing those server directly. Okay, what we did now, we put it the load balancer in between, and behind load balancer we added different server. Let's suppose this is a server 1, server 2, server 3, and server 4. So now client will reach to the F5 LTM, and LTM will distribute the traffic evenly. Okay. Let's suppose one server goes down, that will not send the traffic because F5 monitor the health of the backend server. Okay, that's how it works. What I explaining benefit of the, then what happened, load balancer came in picture, maintain high availability means application was 24 into 7 available, no downtime. Because let's suppose this server is overloaded, F5 will stop sending traffic to this server, because since we are now will redirect the traffic to the other available server. Earlier, what was the issue? Ununiform load distribution without load balancer. Equally distributing traffic. Now we can do that. Optimize server resources. How we can optimize the server resources? I'll cover this in detail while during lab, but I'll explain. Let's suppose we have server, we have F5 client. This is the client F5. Earlier, if you want to add some server, there were some hectic process. You have to do the DNS mapping and all. Here, what we can simply, if need, we can add one more server into the pool and it will start sending the traffic. Let's suppose we had three server earlier. If you want to add one more server, we can easily add server into the pool. What are the terminology? I'll cover this later. Okay. Protect app from attack. How we are protecting by putting F5 LTM, how we are protecting from attack? Can anyone explain how we are
Based
protect?
on the source, will have the route in F5. So whatever known source only it will allow. If it is coming,
That is the work of firewall.
okay.
Even, even you can achieve through iRule. Yeah, I specifying the source IP, but we don't do. F5 work is mainly for do the load balancing. Okay, we have option to achieve that, but we don't do. Earlier, what was happening? We are exposing our backend server directly. 11.1.1.10. 11 means we are exposing our identity to internet, and that is critical. Now, what we'll do? I'll add private IP here. Let's suppose 10.1.1.10, 10.1.1.11. I'll give the private IP 10.1.1.12, 10.1.1.13. Okay, and will create one virtual server abc.com here, and we'll map it, let's suppose 100.1.1.100. Okay, so whenever client will initiate the traffic, it will initiate to the this IP. This is the virtual IP. It's a VIP IP. It's called VIP IP. I'll show you in the lab as well. So when traffic will come to the this server, it will come to the pool. It will send to the pool, and in pool we add the different members. So it will distribute the connection to the backend server. Means earlier what we are doing without load balancer, we were exposing our backend server directly. Now what we are exposing virtual IP. It's not assigned anywhere. It's not a physical IP. It's not assigned to any device. Okay, it's not assigned to any backend server. So exposing our backend server. These are called backend server, which means which host the actual application. Exposing our backend server is critical to attack. It's proof for attack. So by not exposing our backend server directly to internet, we are protecting our app from attack. Okay, query clear? Hi Sahil.
Yeah. Clear.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got it.
clear. Yes.
Policy, we can if you want to create some policy I rule, we can do that as well. Reduce support cost. Let's suppose we have earlier, since we didn't had centralized monitoring from F5 load balancer. Let's suppose we have 10 server, yeah, 100 server. There are many resources required to manage that. Since we have centralized monitoring, we can reduce our support cost as well. Okay, by using F5. And also what I cover is scale our application infrastructure, eliminate downtime. Since we have health monitoring in place, what it can do is simply if one server down, it will stop sending the traffic, so we can eliminate downtime. Improve application performance. How we can improve application performance by using F5 LTM? Anyone? Are you guys aware about HTTP and HTTPS?
Yes, yes. HTTP, HTTPS.
Yes,
What is this? What is HTTP?
HTTP sends request in the plain text to the server, and
Hmm.
HTTPS sends in the encrypted format. The connection is secure so that nobody can snipe the packet or
Yeah,
can get the
perfect.
actual data.
Yeah, correct, perfect. Uh, HTTP works on which port?
80.
Yeah,
TCP/IP, correct? And HTTPS
443.
443.
443, correct. So how HTTPS secure the data? Means you are saying if traffic is sent in plain text, if someone will capture in between, let's suppose you are accessing Facebook, okay? If someone will capture, they can see your username and password and what you are sending message as well, they can read if communication is happening in plain text method. Okay. Nitin, am I audible to you? Hello. Nitin, Minde, am I
Yes,
audible?
audible. Audible.
Okay. So how HTTPS secure the data?
Hello.
Yeah.
Aud-
Uh,
Hello.
yeah. I can hear you. Sahil?
Okay. Actually, in HTTP, it um, there is, I mean, there happens a SSL handshake between the server and the user uh, in the connection. It happens TCP handshake. Post that client hello, server hello, and post that the keys, shared secret keys exchanged. I mean, the prior public and private key making the
Yeah,
custom
there
key.
is session key generated. Yeah, perfect. So after I have a separate session for this one SSL. I'll cover that. I how key generated. I'll take a capture in Wireshark and I show you. But you guys need to understand our browser is designed. If we are initiating any connection, by default it initiate the connection on the port 80. And since we don't want connection on port 80, we redirect the connection to the HTTPS because HTTPS secure. How it is secure? Sahil has explained. Like I'll show you. Even if I let's suppose see if I'm particularly typing here www.google.com, it will see it's redirected to the HTTPS. How redirection happen? I'll cover in iRule. In iRule, one of the use case is redirection, HTTP to HTTPS redirection. You can see here specifically I mentioned HTTP, but still it's initiating connection to the HTTPS because HTTP nowadays is not allowed. Why it's not allowed? It's not secure. The reason for explaining. So every website is nowadays secure. Secure means encrypting data. Encryption. Encryption comes in the picture. What is encryption? scrambling of data. We change the data format. What are the types of encryption, Sahil?
There are so many types of encryption.
I think
There are
Uh,
CIA, I think.
only two types.
AES,
There are
Symmetric and
DES,
asymmetric.
advanced encryption system,
this is the
3DS.
that is the algorithm to translate. But there are only two methods, symmetric and asymmetric. Okay.
Correct, correct, correct.
Symmetric, same key is needed to encrypt and decrypt. And asymmetric, different key, public key and private key comes in the picture. So I have separate session for this one. If I'll explain in detail, you guys not able to understand. I'll go step by step. But my reason is through. So whenever we initiate the connection, what happened? TCP three-way handshake happen. Correct? What is the TCP three-way handshake? If I'm saying networking basic is clear, should be clear as a prerequisite. So ये सबको clear होना चाहिए. What is TCP three-way handshake? That is very very important. Whenever I'll
Um,
cover the class, I'll add doing the troubleshooting. This is the very important. Okay, so it should be clear. What is
yes.
the TCP three-way handshake?
Synac. I mean,
So whenever client initiate the
synchron.
packet, first send the scene, ACK, and ACK, and after that SSL handshake, and after that key generated. So key
Correct.
generation is a very
Uh,
extensive process. Okay, means it's required lots of compute resources to generate a key. And one, I'm not talking about one user. If let's suppose millions of user trying to access same website. So for separate all the users, it will generate a separate key. So what it can do, it can reduce the performance of the backend server because backend server work is to respond to the query, not the encryption and decryption. We can do that, but impact the performance. It can lead to a slowness. Okay, let's suppose you have guys observed like if many users are trying to access some website, it could lead to the slowness. So here we can one a special feature come into the picture, SL offloading. And if you are attending any interview, they will definitely ask what is SSL uploading and how we can do that. So means what we can do earlier, what we are doing since now plain text is not allowed, we were doing encryption end to end means server to client. We are sending the traffic in encrypted way means 443. Since we want now offloading, what we do? We send the traffic here to here, encrypted 443, and backend connection send in plain text that is on port 80. So we can upload the connection means encryption and decryption is done by the F5 and backend there will be connection means communication in port 80. Why we do that? Since our backend server and F5 in same data center and data center is also a secure place. No one can authorize access is not allowed in data center. So since we know our data center is secure, we want to enhance the performance of our backend server. We can do the SSL offloading. Means what we are doing, we'll decrypt the packet here and send the plain text communication to the backend server. How we do, I'll cover this in lab, but it's clear what is the SSL uploading. Means that's how using F5 we are enhancing the performance of the application. Means what we are doing, application work is done by the F5 LTM. That's how we can enhance the performance. Secure application I already covered by not exposing our backend server. We can increase the server capacity easily and reduce the bandwidth. Customize the delivery of the app. Means we can. I'll cover in full proxy architecture. What is the full proxy architecture and how we can cover it. SSL means performance part is clear. How we can enhance the performance. How communication happens. Clear to everyone.
More thing, repeat that one.
Sorry.
One more time, repeat once again.
So
SSL uploading. Yeah.
we have separate topic for SSL, but still I'll explain.
Okay. Okay.
Whatever is happening nowadays, we know HTTP is not secure. So every connection happens on HTTPS only in encryption way. Okay. So
Okay.
earlier what was happening, we were doing end-to-end encryption. So means server was participating in key generation, and key generation is a kind of very extensive process. So it's required lots of CPU, and that can decrease the performance. Let's suppose same time there are lakhs of user is trying to access same website and same server. So for all the users, it's generating separate key, because every browser need a separate key to enhance the initiate the connection. So that could lead to decrease the performance of the application if we are doing the encryption and decryption on the server. What we can do now, we introduce the F5 and we are doing the SSL uploading. In SSL uploading, there are two connection will be built. One connection on F client to F5, which is encrypted. Client is coming from internet to the our F5 means data center in encrypted way. And backend means both are means our F5 and means load balancer and backend server, the server which hosting the application, it's also in same data center. So we are sending in plain text. Okay. In means port 80 means, so F5 there is no need to means server here only communicate in plain text, and once server will send the packet to the F5 will again re-encrypt and send to the client. Okay,
Yeah.
clear
Okay.
now?
Okay. Clear.
Means we are doing plain text communication to the backend.
Yes. Okay.
Clear, Sahil? I'll cover this part again
Yes, yes.
once I'll be covering. So by putting F5 LTM, we are enhancing the performance of application. Now F5 is a, one second, where it went. One second. F5 is called full proxy architecture. So before we understand full proxy architecture, so what we are covering tmsh architecture. So before we understand full proxy, we'll understand what is the proxy and types of proxy. What is the proxy? Anyone aware about it?
So it will act and in the middle to hide the source IP to the internet, and it
Yes,
will
that is
help.
the example of forward proxy. Okay.
Yeah.
So there are four types of, I'm asking about proxy only.
Okay.
So it's man in middle in both the way, in forward and reverse. Let's suppose you have guys have attended college and someone is not up here, someone is means not absent. We are putting marking their attendance basis of that absent person. That is called proxy. Means someone is doing their work on behalf of someone. So there are four types of proxy. One is forward, light GScaler, blue code, then reverse proxy, then half proxy, then full proxy. Okay. F5 work act as a full proxy. And what is the full proxy? I'll cover. What is the forward proxy? Who has explained it? I think. What is the forward proxy? Sudalai, what is the forward proxy?
It will forward the traffic go to the
Yes.
internet like firewall, and in between it will hide the source IP who is requesting access.
Yes. So let's suppose you are trying to access abc.com. It will not go to directly to internet. It will go to the proxy server. It will check. Let's suppose your IP is 10.1.1.10 and proxy server IP is 11.1.1.1.10. It will check whether that ABC is allowed or not. If that is allowed, what it will do, it will change your IP, and on behalf of you, it will go to the internet and send the response packet to you. That's how it works. It's a forward proxy. It's example of GScaler Blue Coat. Nowadays, every organization is using it. Reverse proxy. This was forward proxy for the outgoing traffic. If traffic is going outside, means from organization to you are going to the outside. Okay, on going to internet. Let's suppose we have one application ABC hosted in our organization, and someone is consuming from internet. And here what we have done, we have added F5 any kind of load balancer. So that is the example of reverse proxy. Means let's suppose we are trying to use we are accessing Google. I am from my organization, I am using Google, so it will go via proxy. It's example of the forward proxy. But let's suppose for the Google company, okay, it's a kind of reverse proxy. Someone here understand this like if some inside user from company, it's going to internet, it is the example of forward proxy. It's going via proxy, it's a forward proxy. If someone is from internet trying to access our internal hosted communication, internal hosted application, abc.com, let's suppose here we have one proxy, and what we have done, this is the private IP 10.1.1.10, and here we have mapped 100.1.1.1.10. If someone will come to the this, it should be netted to the 10.1.1.10. So this is the example of the reverse proxy. Okay, means from reverse direction. Someone is coming from internet to consume our internal hosted application. That is the reverse proxy. Clear? What is the forward proxy? What is the reverse proxy? To everyone?
Yeah.
Sir,
Now,
please repeat the reverse proxy. I could not understand it.
reverse proxy means let's suppose you have you are working in some ABC organization. Okay, and you hosted one application abc.com. Okay, you are the organization. I'll draw it like this. You are the client coming from internet. Okay, this is my ABC organization. ABC organization. We have hosted one application behind our load balancer, a proxy server, abc.com. Since we are not exposing our direct application to internet, application server IP 10.1.1.10. So here we have created one kind of netting. If someone will access the ABC, it should result to the DNS IP 11.1.1.10. And what will come? If it will come to the 11.1.1.10, it should translate to the 10.1.1.10. Okay, this is the actual application. So what we are doing, we are proxying, means we have changed the IP to the destination. Okay, So that is the example of reverse proxy. Reverse proxy means someone is from internet. This is the user is from internet trying to access our application hosted in our organization. Okay, this is the example of reverse proxy. And if this user, there are within an organization, there is one user is trying to go to the internet, that is the, it will go via proxy. That is the example of the forward proxy in forward direction. Okay. For incoming traffic, we use a reverse proxy. For outgoing traffic, we use forward proxy. Do you guys understand inbound and outbound? Inbound, what is the inbound?
Inbound means
From
customer call
internet
to
to
customer care, right?
from internet to towards organization.
Internet to organization, correct. Means incoming, like if you receive a call on your call, it's called incoming call, means someone is calling you, correct. And outbound means if you are calling, if you are sending traffic, you are calling someone, it's outgoing call. So outbound means internal to outside, that is called outbound. Similar like that. So if someone is coming from internet, that is that will come via reverse proxy. If someone is going from inside to outside, that is the forward proxy. Clear now? If not clear, once I'll do the lab, that will be clear. Okay, that's how it works.
Oh,
Now, full proxy comes in the picture. What is the full proxy? How F5 work as a full proxy. Introduction to proxy. What is the full proxy? Anyone aware about it?
Sir, not sure, but uh, full proxy will and maybe handling two-way traffic. I mean, traffic going towards internet as well, and traffic coming towards
No, 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 no,
organization
no,
as
no,
well.
no, 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 no. It's example of full proxy means F5 act as a full proxy, and it means it maintain two separate connection to understand the complete understand of the application. It can examine both request and response. So here is the client and try to again access same application abc.com. So what it does, I have mentioned to establish a connection, there is TCP three-way handshake come in between, correct? Come in the picture. Before establishing any connection, three-way handshake happens. Okay. What is that? So what it will do, when client will initiate a connection, there will be two separate connection. One is from client to F5 SYN plus ACK. So client will send the SYN packet to F5. F5 will send a SYN plus ACK, and after that client will acknowledge the connection, and there is a that connection is called front end connection. And also it called client side, means client is initiating. Client means user who is initiating the connection, that is called client, that is called connection. Then there is, after once front end is completed, F5 will choose one of the backend server and initiate a separate connection again F5 will send a connection to the backend server. Let's suppose this is the server one, so F5 will send the SYN packet, and server will respond with SYN plus ACK. Then F5 will again send the acknowledgement packet. Mean there is two time three-way handshake happen. One is from client to F5, one is from F5 to the backend server. So that is called full proxy. And then what is the benefit of full proxy? Means if you are sending application data, client is sending application data, F5 can, load balancer can modify that data and send to the backend server. It's example of the SSL offloading what I explained earlier. Means client is sending encrypted data. We can decrypt it on F5 and send unencrypted traffic to the backend server. Client is sending compressed data. We can uncompress and send to the backend server. Since it's has full proxy it maintaining two separate connection, F5 has full visibility of application behavior. Okay. So clear now, in every interview they will ask what is full proxy architecture in F5. You need to explain this. It maintain two separate connection. One is from client to F5 and one is from F5 to the backend server. Backend server, if I'm saying, means actual server who is responsible for application response. Okay, clear now?
Yeah, clear.
Yes. Sir,
Anyone having a
one
doubt?
question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Um, Actually, you told us that there will be two different connection between user to F5 and F5 to actual
Back.
server, correct?
Yes, correct. Not virtual server, backend
So,
server. Virtual server is something different. I'll explain what is the virtual server profile and all.
correct.
Uh-huh.
So,
Uh-huh.
is it similar to the deep packet inspection happens on the firewall level?
No,
Because
no, no,
in
no, totally different.
so
Deep
what will be
packet
the
inspection.
difference?
We are load balancer is responsible for load balancing the traffic. It don't do the inspection. Okay, based on the profile, we can do the inspection. Means inspection means checking the content. What are the content of that traffic? If that content is not legitimate, we can allow, yeah, deny that traffic based on the created profile. Correct? Here, what we are doing, load balancing that packet. We are not maintain.
So will
Uh-huh. Yeah.
so will it not check the security parameters as well? So will it
No,
only
no, no, no,
check
no.
the
Yeah, it's
load
kind
balancer?
of load balancer. For that security parameter, we have ASM, WAP,
Okay,
advanced WAP, web application firewall. Okay. It's
okay.
mainly for only for the web packet. It's only inspect the HTTP and all. So load balancer is not responsible for the first you need to understand. Load balancer is not responsible for the security. We have profile, we can modify the behavior, but major work it do the load balancing. Let's suppose you have a mobile. What is the primary of primary work of your mobile? To make a call, but we can
So,
see the
correct.
timing, play the game and all. But what will happen if you are playing game and all? It could decrease the performance. It could lead to the slowness and all. Okay. So for security, F5 has a different module that is called WAP. It's a web applications firewall. It's called. So it's a separate module. Here we are only
Okay.
doing the load balancing. There are different terms called in the picture profile and all. We can check the header, modify the behavior of HTTP profile and all, but we'll not taking any action. Okay.
Okay,
Sir,
got it.
Yeah.
sir,
Go ahead.
sir, WAF is a part of F5.
Yes, it's one of the module of the F5.
Okay,
Like here we
okay.
are studying LTM, local traffic manager. Then it's called, then again it next with GTM, global traffic manager. It's also called smart DNS, intelligent DNS. Then it's ASM, WAP, APM, application policy manager for the VPN and SSO. So these are the different module. Okay. In F5, sorry, in Palo Alto, you were not Palo Alto, in firewall, if you are talking about deep inspection, in deep inspection, it maintain only one connection. It not maintain two connection. Based on the profile, it do the inspection one by one on the same traffic. But on F5, it maintain two separate connection. If connection is coming, it terminate means there are two time TCP handshake happens. One is front end side, one is back end side. Okay. So it's totally different from others. So if someone is asking, even if in next class only, I'll take a TCP dump in Wireshark. I'll show you how it maintain two separate connection. Okay. then
Okay,
that
sir.
would be more
Got it.
clear. And today I'll covering the overview. So if not clear, I'll take means again I'll cover this thing in capture. I'll explain. So now clear what it
Actually,
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
I have seen one of the leading training institute in Pune, and in that lecture, I have uh, heard that in the checkpoint HTTPS inspection, on the certificate-based inspection, it
Mm-hmm.
checks the malicious code and something other things as well. So
SSL
there will
decryption
be
you were talking about in every firewall they are featured to decrypt the packet and inspect the traffic. What are the
correct.
use of
That is
that?
what about what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so you got confused. So what happens? Let's suppose if client is initiating connection directly to the backend server. Okay. Even let's suppose load balancer in picture and there is no certificate. You are not doing offloading. So what happen? As we know, for decrypt encryption and decryption, key required, correct? Session key to encrypt and decrypt traffic. So let's suppose F5, yeah, a middle devices, they don't have certificate, yeah, key. So won't be able to. So let's suppose three handshake happen and key generated between user and backend server, and they are communicating to each other. And this is the middle device. They don't have key, so that device won't be able to decrypt the packet. If that device won't be able to decrypt, won't be able to inspect the traffic, won't be able to take any action. Let's suppose you are the security guard. You are responsible to check if someone is coming inside of your organization, yeah, going outside, you to check that. But that let's suppose one employee is carrying some box, yeah, bag, yeah, trolley bag, and you don't have key to unlock it. You want to be able to identify the what he is carrying, correct? To check that we need key over the device, so that is a separate topic, so don't come that is called SSL decryption in yeah, SSL inspection in terms of firewall.
Okay, sir. Got it. So is there happen both different TCP handset, two-way TCP handset, front end and back end as well?
In terms of F5 in terms of firewall, yeah, F5 sorry, in terms of
Uh,
firewall, yeah, load balancer you are talking about.
in terms of firewall, as you have already told us
In
that in
firewall there
F5
is only one time TCP 3 event check happen, that is the separate topic, so don't get confused between firewall. There is separate flow, so we have from Tuesday I am starting Palo Alto batch at 9:30, where I'll cover this thing in detail. Okay. So
okay, got it.
in packet flow, in one flow only, before establishing session, there is some inspection happens. If there is that is legitimate traffic only, then only connection will be built, else connection will be terminated. So that is the separate flow. So you can means you can go through the packet flow of the firewall, any of the firewall, and you can see that. So there is no two, three band check, but here it's happened two times three band check. Okay. In
Got
firewall only one. Okay. How traffic looks like? I'll give you one scenario in real time only. Yeah. Let's suppose I'll go to my lab to explain this. One second. Okay. This is Palo Alto firewall. How it works? To explain your question. If I'm saying 2 3 event check happen, so 2 3 event check means client, this is the client on internet connected to my internet router. This is my internet router. Each and everything I'll cover in detail, that time we'll cover. So if I'm saying two TCP/3 and check, first client will initiate the connection. It will go to the internet router, will come to the firewall. Firewall will inspect that packet and send to the SYN packet. This was the SYN packet, okay, to the load balancer, to VIP. F5 will respond. It will cross the firewall. It will go to the client. That was the SYN plus ACK. Then again, this will send the acknowledgement packet. Client will send the acknowledge packet. It will come to the F5, that is the ACK packet. Means SYN-ACK ACK means front end is completed. For F5 there, for firewall there is only one time TCP/3 handshake. Now F5 will there are many server in backend, S1, S2, let's suppose S3, S4. F5 chooses one of the backend server. So it will initiate the connection to that backend server. That is the SYN packet. That backend server will initiate with SYN-ACK, SYN plus ACK. Then F5 will acknowledge it and connection will be established. Means do 2 times 3 events happen. Now when this client will send the data, then F5 will send the data to the backend server. That's how it works. Okay. For the firewall, there is only one kind. F5 firewall is responsible to allow and deny the traffic. Let's suppose I have created one VIP. What is the VIP and all? I'm going to cover now 11.1.1.10. So on firewall, we create the policy to whom we are allowing this access to this VIP. How we can do the control the user, how we can do the deep inspection, security feature we can configure on the firewall. In one lab, what I'll do, I'll take a firewall and load balancer in same lab, and I'll explain the behavior. Okay. Any query? I touched lots of topic today. You guys must be confused. So, 1 second. Any question into full proxy architecture? What is the full proxy architecture? Any query? No. Okay. So the last one is half proxy, and half proxy. It only examine the in full proxy. We are examining the request and response. Means traffic is coming from the client to F5. Means that is called request packet, and when server is respond, that is called response packet. So in half proxy, we only examine the request packet, don't examine the response packet. That is the example of half proxy. So F5 is the example of full proxy architecture. In full proxy, we examine both request and response packet. Okay. Any query, anyone? So what proxy does, it sits between the client and server. Client communicate to the proxy, and while proxy communicate to the destination server in both the cases, but in forward proxy, if user is going via internet to sorry, internal to internet, and in reverse proxy, someone is consuming from internet to our internal hosted application. As I mentioned, F5 is not limited to the load balancer. It's called application delivery controller. It could be a computer network devices. Yeah, we can F5 install in the vir- virtual machine as well. I'll cover these terms in later. Now we'll cover what are the virtual server. What is the virtual server? Anyone aware about it?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll first. When F5 box come, when you will log in it, default IP is 192.168.1.245. Okay, that is for the hardware box. And why 245? What is the default IP of firewall? Palo Alto. Anyone aware about it?
Not, sir. No hands-on on Palo Alto. Aware about
Any
checkpointing.
any firewall checkpoint? What is the default IP of checkpoint?
192.168.1.1, 1.1, and then for Fortinet, 192.168.1.199. Sorry.
Yeah. So why default IP of the F5 is 245? Because when you'll convert this to the hexadecimal, let's suppose IP to hexadecimal, one ninety two dot one sixty eight dot one dot two forty five. Last digit comes as a F5. That's why F5 chooses as a this IP as a hexadecimal. You can see it's appearing F5. Last octet is F5. So that's why F5 choose this IP as the default IP. If you are trying to access from CLI, default username is root and password is default. Okay. If you are trying to access from GUI, default username is admin and password is default only. DEFAULT, the default password. We can, when we got the back, we can access via SSH and HTTPS. Okay. This is the default IP. Any query? Anyone? Now we'll understand what is the node, what is the pool member. Anyone aware about this terminology? What is the virtual server? So let's suppose here we have created one virtual server VIP and IP 10.10.1.100. Okay, this is called a VIP and name is called the virtual server. Means when someone is initiate the traffic, it come to the this virtual server that is called listener. Means let's suppose this user is initiating traffic to the internet, it will come to the this IP, a listener only. First we'll understand node. What is the node?
Node,
Node.
node in the sense the way or the path towards. I mean interface. Usually, we use that word.
Okay. Nitin, you are I think already working on F5, correct? Nitin, am I audible to you?
No, I'm only working on. I do not have a hands-on experience.
Okay, okay, you don't have experience. So node is the only IP of the server. Let's suppose we have server in backend. That IP is called node. Okay. IP of the server is called node. And when we associate blue line, you can see that this blue line is called node. IP of let's suppose we have three server S1, S2. and S3. So IP itself called a node. When we associate services means port. Let's suppose 80, it's become the pool member. Okay. So this line you can see that associated with port it become pool member and combination container of pool member. Let's suppose we have now three member and we combination of all three. Let's suppose we created HTTP pool. It's called pool, and that pool we associate to the virtual server. So how communication happen? Let's suppose this is the user from internet trying to access some 10.10.1.100 application, ABC application, abc.com. This user trying to access abc.com. What will happen? Connection will come to the virtual server first because we have assigned this IP to the virtual server. Connection will come to the virtual server. Virtual server we have associated HTTP pool. This pool, HTTP pool, this pool. Okay. So what we'll do? First connection come to the virtual server. There is three events check will happen. Scene plus act and act. Three event check will happen. And after that, based on the load balancing algorithm, F5 will choose one of the backend server based on the algorithm. So in HTTP pool, how many server we have? S1, S2, S3. 20.1, 20.2, 20.3 the IP of the server and associated with port 80. So F5 will connection in backend. Again, scene act, scene packet F5 send, then scene plus act, then act. Okay. Then this will send the data, then connection will start. Okay. So that is the call. This is the terminology. If same same node we associate with different IP, it will become the another pool member. Means same sub node we can associate different IP, different ports. Sorry, 8443, 8080, 9443. Okay. So means one node can work on the different port, and port is called services, and if you associate different services it will become a different pool member. So IP address simply is called node. If you'll add node plus port it become pool member. Container of pool member is called pool, and virtual server is listener. When someone is initiate the traffic it come to the listener, means who listen from outside, means first connection will come to the this listener IP and then send to the pool, and pool will send to the backend server. Okay. Now these are the basic. Anyone having any query? Full proxy architecture which I explained, scene ACK and happen. This is the example of TCP connection. Send. Now we'll cover the initial setup requirement. For that for initial setup we need license. Without license we can't perform anything in F5. We have to do the licensing. Okay. One second. Let me log into my F5 device. Root big IP at the rate big IP at the rate 123. F1P 192.168.100.128 192.168.100. Admin Here you can see that there is it's expired. Earlier I was using some license, so that is expired. So that's why it's saying no license. So without license, we can't do the product license expire on 7/1. Sorry, it's saying after 3 days it will expire. Okay. If I'll start here. So without license, we can't perform anything on the F5 LTM. So we have to reactivate the license. For license, F5 provide 30 days license. So what you need to do first, I'll give you one video where I have explained how we can request for the license, F5 trial license. You only need to go to the F5 trial license, F5 product trials. You need to log in. If you don't have a login, get free trial now. And we need to request for the virtual edition. Okay. Get free trial license. If you have already ID, you can log in. Else, what you can click on register. In register, that will ask you to fill some detail like name, your current company name, email ID, address, and all. We need to provide these things correctly, like what is first name, last name, email, country, and after that, putting password. What it will do, it will initiate one activate email towards your Gmail box. You can while clicking on that, you can activate your account, and after that you can fill some detail and ask for the trial license. Okay, after that you will get the trial. If someone can give me the, let's suppose earlier we can request from the Gmail ID as well, Gmail. But F5 now restrict that. Now you can you only need to request from using your official mail ID. Let's suppose you are working in some organization, there must be there some ID. So you can request using your IP. Let's suppose I'm using Sahil name. Sahil Jadhav. Email ID. Sahil, can you give me your email ID? As of now, you can give your Gmail ID only. While you are requesting from yourself, you can use your official mail ID. So Sahil, can you give your mail ID? I'll give you one demo. Type in the chat. Yeah, anyone else? Sahil, Sanjay.
What?
Sahil, are you there?
Yes, time.
Okay. Can someone? So I'm just giving one demo how we can request for the license. Can anyone ping in the chat? I have already used my mail ID. Let's suppose if I'll info@itskillpath.com. I'm taking one IP, big IP @123 4 5 6 7. Let's suppose. And what we can do, sign up. It's showing account with already exists, so I can't initiate if it is because I have already requested. I'll show you sign in. I'll use my this account info@itskillpath.com. Password I'll share. I'll type it here. @. Two-factor, you have to enable two-factor authentication as well. So it will send some OTP on my mail ID. I'll put it here. I need to put Gmail verification code. So it will trigger some verification code. I have not received it. Now I have received it. 337 400. So what F5 does, it provides two license for 30 days. 30 days means one license is 30 days, one expire, you can use another. And if that is expired too, you can re-request the license. So how I can do? I'll go to the trial. As of now, it's showing 0. I'll click on trial. And I will put big IPv start another trial. I have already requested. Since it says expired, what I'll do, I am doing the another trial and probably I'll get it. As of now, you can see these are the expired one. I have requested 4 times. All are expired. I'm requesting one more time. If I'll get license using that, I can do the license of my virtual server. Uh, F5, not virtual server. I'll do the licensing of my F5 device. Okay. It will take couple of seconds. And after that, I'll get the license. Sometimes it takes a bit longer time. So what it will do, it will start showing license like this one. I got one. This is active. So using this one. So here you can see that how many license we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I can use only this big IP virtual edition for the license the server. These are for the big IQ. Big IQ is the separate. Like in Palo Alto, we have Panorama. Yeah, let's suppose in FortiGate we have Forti Manager. In like F5 we have Big IQ. Big IQ is for the centralized management device. So we can use the two licenses. So let's suppose I am using this license. How I can do that? I'll explain in the next class. Okay. Any query related to this one? Query related to class, syllabus, fee, structure, anything you guys can ask. I'll be scheduling one more demo for the Palo Alto firewall.
Okay. What will be the fees and how many days it will take to cover, and what will be the entire syllabus for Palo Alto?
For Palo Alto, you were asking? Yeah, F5.
For Palo Alto.
I think you have already received the email. See,
Mm.
if you'll inquire in market, Palo Alto cost fee is at 20K approx. But usually I'll after this offer I offer in 12K. But since running some offer, if you'll take both the course LTM plus F5, LTM plus Palo, not F5. One second. Palo, it will cost you 12K in both the courses. If you go to the individual, it will cost you 799 for the one course. Okay. Palo Alto is for the approx 50 hours and F5 is approx for the 30 hours. So total 80 hours class will live classes will be taken. And after that, I have one portal, IT skill path. If you go to the student login, here it will redirect to the one page. You can register using your mobile number. I'll upload all the recorded session here. After this class only, I'll upload a recording on this portal, and I'll give you the access that is a lifetime accessible. So you can access recording of the class lifetime. And after completion of course, you will get the completion certificate as well. Any other query?
Instead of LTM, I'm not William.
Can you
What
explain to me lab
to have
session? Lab session, how to?
load balance?
You are given the access for lab, virtually lab, right?
Who is asking? Oh, Sanjay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll explain that. And what was your question, Sahil?
Actually, instead of LTM,
Hmm.
is it possible to get the combined package of I mean WAF and Palo Alto?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
But but this is for the LTM plus Palo Alto only. For that, you can contact to the. You can ping me separately. I think you have my number, correct?
mm, I don't think, I mean, I have received a message, WhatsApp message from someone, maybe from your training team, I mean,
What
training
was the number?
institution.
What is the number? 0136 last digit.
Just, just a minute. Let me check.
Any Sudhir, you
Uh,
have any query? Sudalai, any query?
01736.
Yeah, you can revert over that. They will reach you. Okay, and explain
No,
what.
no, no queries.
Okay, so I start will from next week. I'll continue same time 11 to 1 p.m. Okay.
Also, one more question, sir. In the
Mm-hmm.
Palo Alto, you are going to cover only PC NSA or PC NSA both?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir,
Mm-hmm.
sir, what about the labs for practice?
Lab. So I'll help you to build lab in your lab on EVNG. So I have both the lab on here. You can see that it's on hosted on server, and I'll help you to build in your. I'll give you the image. I'll give you the license for the VMware workstation, and I'll help you to build that. Okay. Minimum requirement is 8 GB RAM. If you have more than 8 GB, that is well and good. But minimum is 8 GB should be there. If you want lab from my side, that will cost you approx 3K extra per month. So I'll recommend you to build in your lab because I have to also pay the licenses for the lab. So that will cost you, but it's chargeable per month. But if you'll build in your lab, it is lifetime accessible. You can, and so I'll guide you step by step how you can download. Even I'll share you the image and backend server detail. F5 image here, same. I'm accessing it here. You can see. Okay. Any other query?
Vincent, what should be the
Sir,
minimum hard disk size for building the lab?
Hard disk, minimum hard disk size is not uh, 50-60 GB. But RAM should be 8 GB.
Okay.
Yeah, free 80
okay.
60
And sir,
GB.
what about the study material,
I'll give you the
especially for
PDF.
Palo Alto?
Yeah,
Okay.
Palo Alto you were saying. So I'll
Uh,
share you the PDF and as well as KB article. So I'll say always rely on the KB article because that is updated by the Palo Alto. Okay, let's suppose I created some PDF which is 1 year old. So better to so every class, every topic I'll share you the KB article, knowledge base article, which is managed
Okay.
by Palo
Now,
Alto. Yeah, yeah. Next.
hello.
Uh-huh. So can we discuss
Uh,
about F5 only because this demo was for F5 LTM. If you have query related to Palo Alto, you can ask during that time.
okay.
Okay.
Mm, Sir, I just wanted to know whether the training institute is located, your training institute
It's located in Noida.
in Noida, Delhi.
Yes, NCR.
Um, and is there any regional office in Pune?
No, we don't have. So see, I forgot to tell about myself. So I have 14 years of experience. So earlier I was working on firewall, add firewall plus load balancer. So I started as a network engineer, then I switched in security, then I am working on uh, Palo Alto plus F5 LTM, GTM and WAF. So earlier I was giving training for the networking. Now I have opened my institute that is called IT Skill Path. So this is my kind of part-time hustle, you can say that. And I am working in Deloitte as a full-time employee. So since
So,
1 second, let me complete first. So I work full-time 11 to 9. Before and after I'm free on Monday to Friday, Monday to Friday, and Saturday, Sunday, I usually take two batch. One is 11 to 1 and one is from 9 to 10:30. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Ask any question.
uh, sir, are you also help us to get placed
Yes,
in
so
field?
that is the part of curriculum. I'll help you to first I'll cover the AI role, how we can use AI in day-to-day tasks, how we can use AI in optimize your resume, how you can use AI LinkedIn profile and Naukri profile, and also I'll took a mock interview which I have already explained, and after that I'll help you to refer you in some organization. But you have to appear and you have to qualify. So I don't have any kind of setting and all where you'll simply need you go and join. So you have to qualify interview. I'll give you the questions, a list of questions, what they can ask. I'll even schedule. Let's suppose I am covering some topic, and I'll highlight during that time that it like a kind of important topic. It could means related to your day-to-day task and related to your interview as well. So during that time also I'll highlight this part. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Any other queries, Sudhir? Anybody having any other query? You can ask me.
On my side.
Okay, guys, to see you on Saturday again. So I'll cover in Saturday how we can. So I have already requested for license. Using that license, I'll do the licensing of the devices and I'll start with the lab. So what we have covered today, I'll first show in the lab and then we'll go step by step. Okay. First we'll cover the
Got it,
deployment
sir.
method. Yeah, yeah.
Got it. You will start in the next week. But
Mhm.
may I know your name so that can be
Varun.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. So Sahil, can you ping me your number as well, bro? I don't have, I think.
You might be, and still I will share it.
You can, you
It
can,
is
you can
7.
ping, you can ping me. Yeah, yeah. You guys can drop. If you don't have any query, you can drop. Okay. See you guys. Nice
Okay.
teaching you.
Bye.
Bye, bye, bye.
I have pasted in the chat.
Okay, okay. Thank you. See you on next week, same time.
Okay, good day. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, good. Happy weekend. Bye, bye.